Episode 5 of The Amazing Digital Circus revealed a lot about Jax and his characterization, Ragatha's mindset, and it also offered an insight into the pasts of other characters like Fable. Maybe due to the fact that they weren't being forced into insane adventures by Cain, this episode felt like a really significant glimpse into the more grounded reality that these characters want to return back to, or maybe are still running from. I could and I might make a video analyzing the characterization in this episode, but today I just wanted to discuss what caught my eye first when I watched this, and that was this very complex relationship that Jax and Ragatha seem to have had, and obviously still seem to have a little bit. This video is quite loosely scripted. I might ramble a bit, but I find it really fun to discuss these theories, and I don't know, I just wanted to show people my thoughts. This might be common knowledge, I'm not sure how popular these kinds of theories are, but yeah, I just noticed a few things and wanted to talk about them. So, one of my theories is basically that Jax and Ragatha are connected in some way. I'm not sure if I would go as far as to say that they have like a familial connection, like they're siblings, but it feels to me as if they might have known each other in real life. If they didn't, I think that they might have had a close relationship before the events of the show, either in the circus or outside of the digital realm. And I think this because one of my favorite details about the digital circus as a show is that Gooseworks, she loves 2D animation and was really inspired by the golden age of animation, but also some other later animated films. And I think the most well-known one is Raggedy Ann and Andy, A Musical Adventure. When it comes to the Amazing Digital Circus anyway, I'm pretty sure it's quite well known that she was quite inspired by that. But the reason why I think that this is relevant to Jax and Ragatha is the fact that, obviously, if you look at Ragatha, she's very inspired by ragdolls in general, but probably more specifically by Raggedy Ann. In the film, I don't think people have really talked about this a lot, but in Raggedy Ann and Andy, A Musical Adventure, Raggedy Ann is a very sweet and genuinely a very loving and just a really compassionate character. It kind of feels like what Ragatha is trying to be or wants to be. I don't think she's doing it necessarily for a malicious purpose, like some people have said. I don't think that she's evil or anything, or manipulative on purpose, but I see some parallels between Raggedy Ann in that film and Ragatha in The Amazing Digital Circus. And when it comes to Jax, I think Michael Kovach has said before that when he's doing Jax's voice, he's trying to basically do Andy from that film, but make him sound like he's a jerk. And if you listen to them closely, you can see that their kind of their speech patterns are quite similar. So I don't know, I think that's cool.
Wow! What a relief! I was on the floor here doing my push-ups when wham, bam, everything went dark and I was squashed by that.
If you listen to them speak, you can definitely hear similarities. But yeah, all that is to say that Raggedy Ann and Raggedy Andy as characters could have inspired Ragatha's and Jax's relationship dynamic. In the film, they are siblings who have a very close relationship with one another, and in the stargazing scene in episode 5, it feels to me as if Jax is implying that maybe he had this kind of relationship with Ragatha in the past. I might be misinterpreting it, but his wording feels quite deliberate here.
Who cares? Doesn't she get on your nerves sometimes?
I mean, she's nice to everyone.
I don't know. I think she tries way too hard. Like, we're stuck in... Why are you always pretending everything's always fine? Like, if you tell someone they're loved and appreciated every day, it just kind of loses all meaning.
Ragatha, and this is very characteristic about her, she has a very positive outward demeanor, but I don't believe that she's ever really been depicted telling anyone that she loves and appreciates them every day. I suppose Jax could be speaking in hyperbole, but to me at least it seems like maybe he's experienced this. Maybe it wasn't even through Ragatha, maybe it was through someone else, but it seems like he has a really personal disdain for this kind of behavior that goes beyond just observation. And later on in the episode, when he's kind of like trying to rub his new budding friendship with Pomni in Ragatha's face, it also seems like there's definitely something personal there. It's not just kind of bullying for the sake of annoying her. At least to me it seems that way. I feel like you could also make connections between Ragatha's whole, desire to come across as an ordinary farm girl. You could make a connection between that and Jax's appearance as a rabbit. It might be a bit of a stretch, but you'd see rabbits around farms. There might be kind of a thematic connection there, I'm not sure. But yeah, anyway, my point is, I think Jax and Ragatha have a much deeper connection than people kind of initially thought, and I suppose that's probably changing now because of this new episode. But I think along with the fact that Jax's character was kind of misunderstood, I think that his dynamic with Ragatha also has a lot to offer. And I don't know, I like focusing on parts of the show that don't have stuff to do with necessarily like the overarching lore about the digital realm and Kane and stuff like that. That stuff is all really cool, but I also like talking about the interpersonal relationships that the characters have because it's interesting to me. And yeah, I'm sorry if I was a little shy in this video. It's obviously a very, very all over the place ramble, but I hope that maybe it made you think about some things. If you have any ideas about Jax and Ragatha, you can write them in the comments. I'd love to discuss things with you, even if you don't agree. I want to hear kind of what the fandom has to say about it. So yeah, I hope that it was at least a little bit enjoyable, and I think I'll probably post a more coherent video at some point about the Amazing Digital Circus. I love this show. I love talking about it, and if I had a more well-written script, I probably wouldn't be rambling like this right now. But yeah, I'll see you guys.